Hey everybody, JP here once again, and this is just going to be a quick little video based on a great interview with producer engineer Garth Richardson from the Gggarth podcast that I just listened to today. I'll link it below, and it's fantastic. I've been a fan of Garth's work for since the 90s. One interesting thing to point out about Garth's discography from the 90s and early 2000s in particular, is that he was responsible for a lot of debut albums, label debuts, I should say, for a lot of artists. And what that tells me, especially in the period circa 2000, is that labels trusted him to deliver like the blueprint for an unproven artist. And to me, that's like the biggest compliment you could have gotten during that time in the industry, because there were really, if your album didn't hit right away, or at least sell decently, it was kind of forgotten about pretty quickly. Long gone were the days of an artist like Guns N' Roses, where Appetite for Destruction was out for like a year before it did anything, and the label was very patient. Geffen was very patient with it. Same with Pearl Jam 10. That was out for about a year before it really did anything. By the late 90s, early 2000s, that was done. That was just not happening anymore in the industry. And if a debut artist didn't hit within a few weeks or a month, it was kind of relegated to the bargain bin. There are very, very few cases. I can't think of any off the top of my head. So Garth being trusted with so many debut albums. Mudvayne is one that comes to mind. Rage Against the Machine, of course, is the one he's probably most associated with. Really tells you a lot about Garth's standing in the industry and the trust that these labels had in him for unproven artists. And I really didn't know much about him. I never really talked to anyone who worked with him. And, I guess I read a couple of interviews here and there, but never really got into gear so much or anything like that. He mentioned one thing about vocal tracking. He uses a pair of LA3A compressors. First one is in limit mode, and the second one is in compression mode. And he aims for about -3 from each of them together in terms of the gain staging on them. So I thought it would be really cool to revisit the vocal tracks that we used for our Terry Date Dual 1176 video and see what it sounds like with dual LA3As in the style of Garth Richardson. So let's just give it a listen, and then we'll do a little bypassing and a little comparison like we always do.
Then into myself, I crawl into myself, I crawl into myself. Living is just not enough, just not enough. Into myself, I crawl into myself, I crawl into myself. Living is just not enough, just not enough.
So it's not quite as aggressive as the 1176s. Let's give them a listen. They're right here.
Into myself, I crawl into myself, I crawl into myself.
Due to the faster attack, just inherently in the design of the 1176s, you get a lot more compression, even on the second one.
I crawl into myself, living is just not enough, just not enough.
So it's a bit smoother with the LA3As, which I actually like a lot. Here's just the first one on limit.
Crawl into myself, living is just not enough, just not enough. Into myself,
just the second one on compress.
Crawl into myself, I crawl into myself, living is just not enough.
But together they're really nice, very complimentary. The cool thing about these, and Garth uses this for tracking. I don't know how this vocal was tracked. It probably already has some compression on it, but these are a lot safer to track with than an 1176 in terms of committing. In the Terry Date Dual 1176 video, I mentioned, you might want to really get the hang of these in the mixing before you attempt to do it live in a way that you can't go back and change. Once you commit to it, the speed of the 1176 can, that grab that it has, it can really be a bit much until you're comfortable with them. But like the LA3As, and of course the LA2As as well, they're really kind of safe to track with, especially if you're only looking for like that 3 dB of gain reduction on average or so. I should also mention I do have the Pultec EQP1A, same settings on both, and that was just for the tonal match more than anything else. But if anybody's curious why that's there, that's all. And I'm feeding everything, it's identical. I just duplicated the same track. The only thing I changed were the 1176s to LA3As. And I really like these. This is actually my first go on the UAD LA3As. And I think next time they go on sale, I'm gonna snag them because they're pretty useful. Give them another listen real quick.
I crawl into myself, I crawl into myself, living is just not enough, just not enough.
So yeah, thank you Garth Richardson for this really cool trick about using LA3As on vocals. So remember, it's limit first, compress second, and you know, about -3 dB on average between the two. So I hope you guys dig this. And of course, I'll be back with more. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Love hearing from you guys. Really appreciate it. All right, take care.